Airsoft guns, we can rebuild them. We have the skills. We can make them stronger, faster, and better than they were before.
Hey guys, welcome back to Airsoft Extreme Tech Tips. I'm Jeremy. Today we're going to be talking about how to install a REAPS bucking into a gas blowback pistol. I rate this a 4 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and the tools I'm going to be using for this is a jeweler's Phillips screwdriver. Now remember, if you do any kind of modifications or upgrades yourself, you will void your warranty. Unless you're really sure and know what you're doing and everything, I would bring it to an Airsoft Extreme technician. All right, so let's get started. For this demonstration, I'm using the KJ P229, the SIG P229. The reason why I chose to do this video is because Airsoft Extreme is currently having a special going on right now with the KJ SIG 229 and 226 that includes the REAPS bucking. We've seen an overall performance increase in accuracy. I just want to show you guys how to install it. So let's get started. First, always remove the magazine. For this model, there's a lever right here. Same with the 226. Pull the slide back, slide this down, and the slide should just come right off of the receiver, like so. First thing I want to do is remove the spring with the spring guide. The way you do that is to push this forward, rotate it. There's like a bar that sits in part of the barrel here assembly, and this pops right out. Next, I want to get the barrel out. How I do that is you kind of have to wiggle this just a little bit. Sometimes the nozzle, the loading nozzle, likes to stick inside the barrel. So you just gently pull those apart, rotate this up, and then pull the barrel out. Next, you want to slide the hop-up assembly and the inner barrel out of the outer barrel. This part can get somewhat tricky, or you think you're going to break it or whatnot, but once, as you can see, there's a little lever or a block right here. This is just when the gun cycles, it kind of does this sort of motion inside of there. That's the reason why it's there. But you want to get this past this point, this hook or block right here. So how you do that is you just kind of have to gently force it out. And that's that. This is where the jeweler screwdriver is going to take place here. There's 2 screws, Phillips screws right here, that you have to remove. I always use a towel, a white towel, because if you use like a hard surface or whatever, sometimes the pieces, small screws, small springs, stuff like that will want to tend to roll off. So this kind of it's soft and it'll catch it for you. Next, these 2 pieces right here of the hop-up assembly, or the part that holds on to the barrel, they kind of clamshell. So basically, you want to sit here like this, and you always want to make sure the screws are facing up. It's just the way the hop-up wheel, if you have it upside down, it's going to pop out, and then you're going to might be confused on how it goes back together. So gently get the 2 pieces apart. You can also use like a razor blade or some kind of a small screwdriver to actually kind of clamshell it out if it's sticking. And that's that. So basically you want to remove this bar right here. This bar sits inside of this hop-up wheel, which when rotated moves the bar up and down, which gives it hop up, hop down. So gently remove that. And I'll show you how to put that together in a second. From this point, the barrel and the bucking come out. So remove the bucking. Should just pop right out. Set that aside, and you get your new REAPS bucking. Now, there's only one way this goes into the barrel. As you can see on top of the barrel right here, there's a cutout or groove. If you look inside of the bucking, you can actually see also a cutout or a groove where that's going to set into place. Obviously you don't want to put it on this side, it won't fit anyway. So basically, you just slide that into place. There's also the bump, I should have showed you that. There's also a bump inside there which gives you your hop up. I don't know if you can actually see that, but you want that bump. That's another indication where this should go right into here. So basically when that bar moves up and down, that bump moves up and down as well, and that does your hop up. So you slide that into place. Kind of rotate it. You can actually kind of feel it click into place actually. There should be no bump, it should be smooth all the way around. And when you look inside of here where that hole was, or that cutout where I was telling you where the bump goes, you should be able to see it. That means you're set right. It should be nice and snug, it shouldn't move at all. It should just pop right into place. Next, there's this bump right here that goes into this cutout that centers the barrel and the bucking into place. So you want to turn that over, set that in, make sure it's nice and flush, just kind of check it out, and that's that. So next, I want to get that bar again, and this part's really important. As you can see, there's this cutout inside the wheel. There's also this bar, or little post, I guess you could say, that sits right here, that actually, that part needs to go inside of this wheel, the hop-up adjustment wheel. So you want to set that in like so. And just make sure that little post is sitting inside of this groove of the hop-up wheel. And that's it. Get your piece, the other half of the hop-up unit. Slide that back into place. Put the screws in and then tighten it down. Remember, never over tighten it. You don't want to crank on these really hard. And that's it. That's how you do it. Fairly simple. It's the hardest part about doing this whole thing is just putting it back together. It's always easy to take it apart, right? Next, put this back into the outer barrel. Make sure that clicks into place. Make sure this moves pretty freely. Get your slide. Put that back into place. Next part is this. A lot of people get kind of confused on how this, not really confused, but they don't put it in right. The spring always binds out. So the easiest way I find out how to do it is to pull the spring back first with your, kind of push it up against your finger right here and then hold the spring into place. Slide the bar or the spring guide back into the hole right there. Remember, keep it rotated at the side or else you won't be able to get it in. And slide that back in. See this post right here? You can see it only fits one little spot. There's like a cutout where the post is going to sit into. And that's it. Slide that back. The reason why I push the barrel forward like that is sometimes this, if it sits in it, this bar doesn't want to move. It's just the way that the barrel sits inside there. The bar is not going to allow it to move properly. So I push that back, slide the bar back, and you're good to go. So now it's time to go test it out. see how it performs. That's this edition of Tech Tips. You have a good night.